Means and I for detail. For seeing or finding or discovering details about their family.
Perfect, yeah. It's a skill. An eye for, you can say, I have an eye for detail. He has an eye for solving these problems. It means you have a skill using vision. You could say someone has an ear for music. They have a skill for music, something with their ears. Yeah. So an eye for or an ear for, that means a skill. An eye for is a vision skill, and an ear for is a hearing skill. So an eye for detail, he has a skill for noticing small details. Uh-oh. Ah, okay, sorry, my screen minimized. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to everybody.
Hello, welcome Umut.
Okay, we're doing ancestors conversation, and we're in paragraph 2. Okay. So here it says they hunt for clues. Hunt for just means search for. Okay, or chasing. You're chasing an animal when you're hunting. You're searching for an animal. So it's kind of a slang use. In old photos, hairstyles, the cut of clothes. Okay. Metin, what does this mean, the cut of clothes?
Hairstyles, cut of clothes. Style of clothes.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. The fashion or the style. Exactly. And objects in the pictures all allow these detectives to pinpoint dates, places, and even professions. So, Umut, this can be yours. What do you think pinpoint means?
To detect.
Yeah, to find, to detect, exactly.
Yeah.
It means that. And it means a little bit more. It means to detect it very accurately. Very, very accurately.
Point.
Yeah. It's like, I always think about a map. If I have a map and I poke a pin in it, that's a very small spot. So I must know exactly where that spot is I'm poking to. So it means you've solved it very accurately, very close to the right place. Okay. And even professions, it also requires an expert's knowledge in social history. For example, a photo of a woman with unusually short hair in the 19th century likely indicates that she had scarlet fever. Okay, I think that's okay. Nihan, what is scarlet?
Scarlet fever. I know it.
What does the word scarlet mean? Just scarlet.
Red.
Perfect, yeah, scarlet's a type of red. Scarlet fever was just the name of a disease.
Is disease, yes, illness. Illness.
Yeah.
Illness
Yeah,
with
it's a
a
disease.
point in your skin. With a red point in your skin. Like allergic disease.
Yeah, I think there is a red bump with a white circle around it. There's children would sing about this. Ring around the rosy. This song about scarlet fever. Zephyr's head was often shaved, or a photo of a baby carriage. Okay, a carriage is like a stroller. We talked about stroller the other day. The thing you push children in on the street. Okay, in the mid-1800s. So when we're talking about centuries, we say 1700, 1800, like that. That's how we read these numbers, just for years, just for centuries. Okay. Could serve as announcement that the infant had died.
Sufferers had. Sufferers.
Oh, okay. Someone vacuuming. Sinan, do you know what suffer means? Sufferer?
Suffer means getting hurt, painful.
Yeah, feeling pain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my arm is broken. I suffer from a broken arm, or I'm suffering from the broken. I'm in pain because of that. So these are people that are feeling pain because of scarlet fever. They're suffering from scarlet fever.
The sufferer is patient.
Patient. A patient is someone who a doctor is seeing. So I could be a sufferer and not a patient. I have the pain, but the doctor is not seeing me. I'm not at it. I'm not seeing a doctor. Yeah. Suffer. You could say he suffered from job loss. It's not always physical pain. It's something bad that happened to you. Like many people are suffering from the bad economy, for example. It's hurting them. Okay. Infant had died. Metin, what does this mean as opposed to?
Where?
Mid 1800 could serve as an announcement that the infant had died. As opposed to. Recording his birth.
Opposed. Opposition. Opposed. Is it related with opposition?
Yep.
Okay. I give my turn to friends.
You don't want to get?
Uh,
Okay. Steve, do you know? Sinan?
Yes.
Do you know what this means as opposed to?
I think carrying a baby in a defines, it announces us that instead of the recording of infant birth, it announcement that a child had died.
Perfect. Yeah, instead of was perfect. Yeah. As opposed to means instead of, and instead of the opposite, usually. So the opposite of dying, being born. So
But
instead
why?
of
Why this announcement that this? I couldn't understand it.
it says people would send a photograph of the baby carriage to let people know their child had died, because at this time many children were dying, and this was their custom, the culture that they did.
Because
So,
the died children died is a normal, in general thing those times.
Yeah, when the children died, in the mid-1800s, they sent all their friends and family this picture of carriage to them. Our child has died.
Okay.
That's what it means. Okay. The period had a very high infant mortality rate. Do we know this infant mortality rate? I'll ask Ihan.
Babies dying rate percentage.
Perfect, exactly. Yeah, mortality means death, dying. So many babies are dying.
Could you one more pronounce infant or infant?
Infant,
Infant.
infant, infant, int. Maybe kind of like the I with no dot. Infant, int. Okay. You guys hear me okay? Can you hear me good today?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Does anyone else hear noises sometimes? Loud buzzing noises? Metin?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay.
Umut muted his microphone
Yeah.
and noise cleared, maybe.
Okay, okay. Alright, okay. So, the custom dictated. Metin? No, Umut, sorry. Umut, do you know what dictated means? Maybe Umut's not here. Okay, Metin, do you know what dictated means?
Dictated. Say, to dictate, to say, to indicate, to underline verbally.
Perfect. Yeah, dictate is usually verbal. We usually use it if I'm reading or if I'm telling someone what they should write. These are the most common times we use dictated. So here it's like, yeah, the custom says. We use it a lot as phrase. So it is the custom that you send these cards when your child dies. These are just some of the facts that these photographs must readily have at their fingertips. Okay, Umut, what does this mean, have at their fingertips? Or readily have at their fingertips? Umut?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What does this mean, readily have at their fingertips? Okay, Umut, I can't hear you anymore. So I'm going to ask Sin. Sinan, readily have at their fingertips.
Photo detectives must readily fingertips on those photos. detectives must find some fingertips on the photos, some clues.
Oh, you mean fingerprints?
These fingertips is real fingertips, not means real fingertips. Is
Yeah,
it?
your fingertips are the very end of your fingers.
Yes.
That's your fingertip.
Yes.
So they
Not
need
a,
to have the information.
hmm.
It's kind of an idiom. Yeah, have at your fingertips is an it can
Okay.
be.
Find out some clues there.
Yeah. If I have something at my fingertips, it's very close. As soon as I need it, it's right here. So I have it ready. I have it ready to use. That's what it means. So this means that they know this information. If they need this information, they can use it in a second. They don't have to go on Google and learn these things. This is stuff they have to know. It has to be ready to use the information. So have at your tips means have it close, have it ready. Okay? Nihan read, Sinan read. Metin, can you read the next one?
Next one. Oh. The earliest photos, which come from the 1830s, usually necessitated a studio visit by the Hur family, a lengthy and formal process. But when Kodak invented a snapshot in the 1880s, family collections ballooned with shots of birthdays, holidays, and everyday life. Unfortunately, most people didn't bother with labels, which now thwart, thwarts the efforts
Thwarts.
of thwart the efforts of descendants unable to correct identify the old pictures.
Perfect. Okay, so Metin, the earliest photos, which come from the 1830s, necessitated studio visit. What does that mean, necessitated?
Necessity. To make something necessary, I would say to cause something to be needed.
Require.
Perfect, yeah. If they wanted the photos, it was necessary. It was required that they visit the studios. The old cameras, you have to sit there for half an hour and not move. Yeah. So it was necessary. Okay, but when Kodak invented the snapshot in 1880s, family collections ballooned. Nihan, what does this mean, ballooned?
It is full with.
Filled with?
Mm-hmm.
Filled with, oh, okay. The collection was filled with photos?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like how a balloon gets bigger and bigger and bigger when you blow air in it, that's what it means. They got much, much bigger. Much, much bigger. Okay. Sinan, what are labels? Most people didn't bother with labels.
They don't write the photos on the photos some defining sentence or some signs no labels. They don't do this issue.
Perfect. Yeah, they don't what it is. Exactly. This is the label on the wire. It says what it is, the company that makes it. Okay. Umut?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Do you want to guess what thwart means? Thwarts?
I don't know.
No. Metin, do you want to try?
Avoid, prevent the efforts of this one.
Prevents is close.
To stop something from
Stop.
happening. Or
Great.
prevent
That's good.
something like
Yeah, that's very good. Usually, if you thwart, you wreck someone's plan. I make a plan. I have an idea what I want to do, and you prevent that. So you thwart my plan. So here they're trying to find this information, and because there's no labels, it's stopping their plan. Yeah. So that's what it means. Awesome. Okay, Umut, if you think that Sejkin looks a lot like Nihan, that's actually Nihan. She just changed her name again.
Okay.
Okay, Umut, can you read the last paragraph?
Yes. Enter the photo detectives, but customers may not always like the results. For what gets discovered, maybe disagree with family lore.
Perfect. Okay. Sometimes we use this, enter the photo detectives. That means this is when the photo detective start doing their job. This is when we're going to start talking about them. But customers may not always like the results. For what gets discovered may disagree with, okay, family lore. You want to guess this word, lore?
For what gets discovered. Family attitude.
Aptitude? If you have an aptitude, that means you can do something, or you have a skill for it. Like I have an aptitude for working with computers. I'm good at working with computers.
No, sorry, attitude. A-T-T.
Oh, attitude. A little bit. It's a little bit different than that. Metin, do you know this word, lore?
lore. I know this folklore, family lore, something lore, folklore. So I think it comes from. So it's tradition, something. Traditional behavior, traditional what you have.
Yeah, it means your old stories. Like what your family says is the truth.
Ne? What?
So your old stories. They could say, oh, you know, your great-grandfather moved from this country to here on this boat, and he had these problems and these problems. This is the story your family says about their ancestry.
Or maybe
folklore, they're like
detectives say
old stories.
your old grandfather was a thief. Maybe.
Right, yeah. So it disagrees. They say, oh, your grandfather got really rich in banking.
Yeah,
And then you find out he was just stealing from the banks.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, are there any other or problems we want to discuss in here? Does anyone have questions?
Salute. What's salute?
What's sleuth?
Mm-hmm.
Sleuth, we were talking about the people who are searching for the answers, trying to solve things. So a detective sleuth. When I'm trying to find something, I'm searching for information. I'm a sleuth.
You are a salute.
Yeah. I could say I'm sleuthing, trying to find something. Usually using clues and information. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, Metin, are you interested in history? Do you
Yeah,
agree or disagree?
I agree. I am interested in history.
Interested in history. Okay, what part of history?
Ah, I'll say.
Turkish history?
Not only Turkish history, social history, history of the societies.
Okay.
General, in general, history I like.
You love history in general. Awesome. What about you, Nihan?
I'm not
Is history
interested
something
in. I'm not interested in history, and I don't like things related with history. But I love history lessons because um, what's the word? Memorizing something is very easy for me, so I love history lessons. But I don't, in my real life, I don't really interested in reading what the past, what people did. I'm not
Okay,
interested in it. Yes,
you just like
it's a,
history because it's easy to get a
yes.
good grade.
I'm obliged to learn it. I'm obliged to learn it. It's it's a
You always
must.
take history.
Yes, I have to take. So I took. I believe we should learn our history. So I have to learn, but I'm not interested in learning it.
Okay. And what about you? Are you interested in history?
Who did you ask?
You.
Okay. Well, of course I am interested in history.
Okay, what kind of history? What about history is interesting to you?
Especially the revolution times.
Revolution, okay.
Yeah.
Great. And Umut, what about you?
So, sometimes I am interested in history. Yes.
Sometimes. Okay, what kind of history?
Maybe we spoke before. The people is from nothing. They build everything. First of all, language. You know, it is amazing.
Yeah, of course. Great. Are you interested in your family's history?
It is unfortunately in Turkey, maybe I don't want to generalize, but our ancestor history is not registered, unfortunately. For instance, I have here some Christian friends. In my city there are you know, in the church they have all the history, but unfortunately in Turkey, our ancestor history is not registered. I don't know why. You can find more than three grandfathers, 2 or 3 grandfathers.
Generations.
Yeah, generations.
The word, yeah,
It
the
is
word
not
you want is
active, you know.
generations.
Mhm.
Okay, what do you know about your family history?
Mhm. You know, I think they were uh, my grandfathers. They were working with planting,
Working with planting?
you know, agriculture. Yeah,
Planting.
agriculture.
Planting. Ah,
Yes, yes.
okay, great. And Metin, what about you? What do you know about your family's history?
I'll say I as Umut said, I know 3 or 4 generations history and not more. Mm, what what I know, it's not easy to translate, but uh, okay, I don't know anything.
You don't
It's the
know.
basic
Okay.
answer.
Okay. Sorry, Metin.
No, no, no.
Yeah. Is it something you're interested in? Your family's history?
Mm, well, actually, uh, comparing my other um, relatives, I'm not so interested in our ancestor history. Yeah.
Okay. Nihan, what about you? Is your family's history something you're interested in?
Yes, I'm interested in genetic. If I like them
Okay.
or if not. So I'm interested in my family's history. In my family's history, my surname is coming from there. Basmacı is that means Basmacı means the seller of fabric. Yes.
Okay.
My ancestors sell fabric and they have their uh, fabricator factory like that small factory in the past. They sell fabric to the villages and in Denizli, in the city of Denizli. Denizli is very famous in the textile,
Yeah, I know.
and I'm from Denizli, and my surname is coming from there. Basmacı. It's the seller of
Okay.
fabric. Yes.
Awesome. Good. And Sinan, what about you? What do you know about your family's
Uh,
history?
of course, I am interested in my family's history, and I have researched it, and I find out 7 generation from now to back. I find out our family's roots in Bulgaria, and I set a tour there and find out our family's clues there. It comes from nearly 17th centuries, and I made a site in internet, and I show my family's photos and the family trees. I can show you now. This is my family tree. There are 7 generation. To back in the 8th generation is name wasn't known. Name isn't known.
Oh, wow. Very good,
Uh,
Sinan. Sinan came
yeah.
prepared.
Yeah, it is. This is me, and this is my son. Top of the tree. You can see it on internet www.jolus.com. This
Awesome.
family
Thank you, Sinan.
site. Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah. In Canada, we also have problems like was saying, I think. Not that history isn't recorded, but nobody remembers because you're so far away from the place your history is from. And everything gets mixed together. My ancestry is Norwegian, but only 50%. I'm also Swiss, Swedish, French, German, and maybe something else too. So my
How many-
ancestry is from everywhere in Europe.
How many generations could you know to the back? You're in your family?
Like the names of people?
Names of people.
My generation, my parents, my grandparents, and one more. So just 4.
4, and
Yeah.
it is not okay for your generation. It means 3.
Yeah, 3. I only
Yeah.
know one name in that top one. Most of them I don't know. Only one name. My father's father's father
Father.
was called
Okay.
Turgut. That's all I know. No, Trigby. Something like I don't know. I know Trish. Okay. Do you think it's important to know the history family?
Ask who?
You, Sinan.
Yes. One more again.
Do you think it's important for people to know the history of their family? Is it important to know the history of your family?
Of course, it's important, and I have to do as possible as I can, because most probably my child want to know this, or maybe want to know them. It's important, so we can do what we can.
Okay,
I
awesome.
think.
And Umut, do you think pictures are an important record of a family's history?
Yes, but when you know, when you are young, is you know, it was good, but when you are getting older, you know, it is not good anymore to check the pictures. Or if you lose someone, yes.
Okay. Awesome, thank you. Metin, do you think it's important to know the history of your family?
Yes, it is important because the ancestors are the hero for your. They are they are your heroes for your behavioral heroes or some
Ah,
how to say always
role
they
models.
support you in your behaviors. They encourage you to do something or uh, just the um, how to say stories or some events that they had, they did, uh, is important to my mind. And uh, pictures are not so important because pictures, um, picturing is a new concept, but history is much more uh, older than this technology. So,
Okay.
knowing about the stories about ancestors always it's valuable.
Great, thank you, Metin.
You're welcome.
It's important, except you and me, we're the ones that don't know very much, right?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know so long. I know three generations, but conceptually,
Yeah.
it's my idea. Because how to say we had many war uh, in in the near history, and so
Ah,
it is not easy to trace the roots. It's not easy to
right,
trace roots.
of course. And Nihan, do you think picture an important record of a family's history?
I don't like pictures, and I don't like taking pictures because they always remember me the old things, and when I remember my past, I always feel sad, and I can't look at my grandmom's photograph because when I look at her or her photo, I start to cry, and so because of this, I don't understand the people how like taking pictures so much. Maybe they took photos for Facebook. I don't know. I don't know what's the reason taking photo. I don't know. And we all of us will die. Yeah, I don't think I don't understand taking photo. Really, what's the
You don't
reason? I don't
understand.
understand. Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. What about this? Do you want your children's children's children to know about you? Nihan.
No, my children is enough. I think.
Okay,
Yani,
they forget about you after, that's okay.
they don't have to see me from my photograph. I want them to remember what I did for his mother or father. They don't have to see my photograph. My photograph is so unnecessary thing. I think it's show. I don't like show my life and uh, my life to everyone. It's my secret. I think I don't like to share my what I eat or where I go to everyone. And for this reason, taking photo is so unnecessary. And to remember the old things is so give me sadness to me because I remember my lose things, lose my grandmas, grandpas like that. So as a result of this, I don't like photos and I find them so unnecessary.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to jump down quite a bit, skip the fragments, and in the post-comprehension part. Okay. And what do you know about your grandparents or your great-grandparents?
For who?
Sinan. Sinan.
Okay. Sorry. Uh, to tracing my family's story, you asked me. Okay.
The second one. What do you know about your grandparents or your great-parents?
I know so many things after that research. I have so many photos when I started this, and so many my related sent me the old photos I have from 1930s earlier photos. It's important the photo every year more valuable whatever it was old. It says so many things to us. I think it's important to to save the old family photos, and in the future our child's wants to some things about their roots, and it's right this if they want, and if no, the grandfathers fathers and they can discover some talents where come from.
Okay, great, Dana. Umut, what do you know about your grandparents and your great-grandparents?
No, I know that my grandparents, my grandfather was a smuggler.
What did you smuggle?
Yes, you know, here Syria is very close. You know,
Yeah.
I think 50, 60 years ago, he smuggled tobacco. Yes, he earned a lot of money. He earned money without government authorization.
Okay, awesome. Good, that's a good story.
Yes.
Nihan, what about you? What do you know about your grandparents or your great-grandparents?
Yeah, I know more things about them. As I said before, they are interested in trading. Their occupation is trading. I know it, and they are all good people. My grandparents love their parents. And they told me that they are so good people, blah blah blah. Yes, that's. I know it.
Okay.
I know their
good.
names, big grandmother's names. Yes, I know them. I
How many
prayed for.
generations?
I pray for them. I pray for 2 generations. Bigger than me.
Okay.
I always remember them. Yes.
Awesome. And do you have old photos at home? Are there any people in the photos you can't recognize? Neha?
I don't understand the question.
Do you have many old photos at home?
Old photos? Yes, I have. I have old photos at home. I don't like, as I said before, I don't like looking at photos. But my husband is um, asked me that, suggested me looking at them, and when we go to Ankara, we looked at them. She's my
Okay. Are there?
grandfather. He's my grandfather, like that. So I told him about them. But I don't like looking at them, photos. Yes.
Okay. Are there people in the photos from your family that you don't recognize, that you don't know who they are?
I can recognize because we looked at them with my grandparents and they told me about them, so I can recognize them.
Okay. Awesome. And Sinan, what about you? Sinan.
So, of course, I have so many. Uh, I know nearly all the people there, but some photos from an event like wedding. Some people I can't recognize, but it's not important.
But the people from your family you recognize.
Yes.
Ah, good. Uma, what about you? Do you have many old photos at home and people in them you don't know who they are?
You know, no, I know all of them, but you know, I think it is not anymore important to have it at home because you know, with Facebook, everybody scanning and sharing the old photos. No
Thanks
old
to
photos.
Facebook.
Now we can, yes, we can save in a hard disk.
Okay, what would happen to the world if there was no more Facebook? We'd lose so much information.
Yes, yes.
Good. Uma, would you ever hire one of these photo detectives from the story? Would you ever think about doing that?
No,
No? Why
no,
not?
you know, because I think in Turkey is concept is different. You know, because maybe in my area, no, coming of the photo machine is not very old. Maybe you cannot find pictures from. I cannot find at least from 30s. I can find from 50s, you know, from 60s. But before 50s, you know, maybe there were no photo machine. Maybe in Europe or United States. I don't know.
Okay. Good answer. Sejkin. Would you ever consider hiring one of these photo detectives?
I haven't really heard. I have heard it in first time. I haven't heard
Okay.
about photo detectives in Turkey before, so it's a very different concept for us.
But now
Yes.
you know about it. Would you think about doing that?
Mm. No, photo detectives is unnecessary for me.
Unnecessary. Okay.
Yes.
And Sinan, what do you think?
And photo detective, I don't think this. I think the more important is being a researcher that can that could read our old writing system, because it was an Arabic letters. It's difficult to read them. In Bulgaria, in village governments, in village fonts, there are some books there, and every records are still there, but we couldn't read it. Maybe in the future I go there with an expert for to read it, because I think we have so many big lands there in our family, but nobody knows it. In
Okay.
Bulgaria, south of Bulgaria, in Kırcaali region.
Awesome. Thank you, Sinan. And how would you feel if you found out one of your ancestors was a terrible person?
It's not important, and it may be interesting.
It would be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, for a story, our chat, good story.
Good. Good. Umut, what do you think? What if your ancestor was Joseph Stalin?
You know, nobody wants to take it, but you know, somebody ancestor is, you know, but we know that maybe before 3 or 4 generations, our ancestors went to war, you know,
Right.
and in Ottoman Empire, in recent years, every time there were a war, I think most of our ancestors killed someone.
Right. That's not so bad. That's a war, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Nihad, what do you think? What if you learned one of your ancestors was a horrible person?
I would be sorry, I think. But I don't believe that thing can be happen.
No, yeah,
Because
you're
in a person in my family who isn't who doesn't get married. Okay, he's interested in photographs and he is collecting old photos, and like Sinan, he make a family tree, and when he's living with his sister, and his sister is interested in our family's tree, and he always tell me, come Nihan and look at this tree when we visit them, and he says that our family is very good. He investigated our tree, so there isn't anything worse. Bad. I know it. He investigated every details of our family. He collected all of the photographs with white and black.
But
And
people don't want to remember bad things.
what?
yeah.
Maybe it can be possible. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't want to take the pictures of the bad things and remember them.
Like
Okay, awesome.
that.
Good. Okay. Great. Well, I think we'll finish up then for tonight, guys.
Yeah, Jory, but
Yeah.
the important thing is to collecting some records, not photo. And the most important thing is our older persons from my family, for example, grandmother, grandfather. I advise you get a tape recorder and record it what he or she said. It's so important. I'm so regretful for didn't do this.
Okay. Thank you, Sudan.
Yeah,
If I ever go back to Canada, I'll do this.
do this.
Okay. All right. Good night, guys.
Thank
Night,
you, everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Right.